and gentlemen, please welcome Chairman and CEO, Salesforce.com, Marc Benioff.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, what a great day it is. We're very excited to be here. This is day 2. This is my encore performance at the Royal Festival Hall. Yesterday we were sold out, and we had to open it up for today. And we're so happy to have all of you here. We are very excited. We are very motivated, and we're very energized with the message that we have for all of you this morning. Yesterday was an amazing day. We had 3,000 people here. We had Michael Dell here, the CEO of Dell. We had Angela Ahrens here, the CEO of Burberry. And today we also have some very special guests. We've had over 7,500 people over the last 2 days. 5,000 people have also joining us online today. We have 50 partners. We have an incredible trade show set up for you, 30 breakout sessions. And in addition to that, we have an unbelievable tech and developer zone set up on the 5th floor for all the developers who want to learn how to build applications and work with our APIs. This is an amazing day. You know, Salesforce.com was born cloud. We were born cloud, but we have been reborn social. And we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to talk about the changes that are going on in the industry, changes that are going on within our company. And what we want to do with you today, what we want to do over the next 2 hours, is to really open a door to show you what we think is happening in the industry and help everyone here walk through it. Because there's an incredible future waiting for us in our technology industry. It is a spectacular and exciting time. It is amazing what is going on. So we have a great day for you. You know, we've been marching around this stage, virtual stage, for about over a decade, 13 years, talking about a transformation that is happening inside our industry. And what's going on inside our industry, let me tell you, is that we are moving out of client-server computing, which is kind of the current paradigm, and into this brand new paradigm of cloud computing. And that's why we've all come here today. We've come here to talk about what's going on in cloud computing. We've moved out of the mainframe, we moved into client-server, now we're moving into the cloud. That's what we have been talking about for 13 years, but there is a bigger, more important, more exciting message today. Now, while we have been doing this work, this company has been growing. Now, we're the fastest growing enterprise software company in the world today. And if you look at our numbers, even through the recession, through all the economic downturn, you see our company continues to grow and expand. And the reason why is because this message, the message of cloud computing, and the message that we're going to go through today, and the new technology that we're going to talk about with everyone here, is a transformational message. It's a powerful message that helps our customers become more successful. The only reason that we're successful is because our customers have become successful. Now we have more than 100,000 customers all over the world using our services, and we delivered to them 36 billion transactions last quarter. Pretty incredible. Yesterday we actually broke through 550 million transactions for the very first time. And you know about our new technology model. We have this great new technology model. We have a great new business model. We also have a great new philanthropic model. Because when we started Salesforce.com, we put 1% of our equity, 1% of our profit, and 1% of all of our employees' time into a 501c3 public charity. And that Salesforce Foundation, of course, has grown with the company, scaled, aligned with it. It has now 12,000 nonprofits using our services. And in addition to that, we have done 270,000 hours of community service. We've given away $24 million so far, and we have a lot of really great nonprofits. And actually, if you're with a nonprofit, would you just stand up and be recognized? If you're part of the nonprofit program here in the UK, if you're a nonprofit or NGO, just stand up. I know. Stand up. Yeah. Now stay standing. The reason I want you to stay standing is I want the commercial customers to pay attention to who these folks are, because you can really help them. These nonprofits need your help. They need your help, and you have the technical resources, the money, and they'll be happy to take whatever you can give them. I tell you that. You know, for 10 years, we've been doing this, incredible story But really, what I love about my job is the constant and never-ending change that goes on in our industry. It's amazing. I mean, over and over again, we see our industry constantly being recreated, re-energized, reinvigorated. It's amazing what happens with our industry. We've moved from the mainframes to mini computers, to client-server computing, to the desktop, and on to mobility, and now into a social revolution. And as we move from each one of these paradigms, from one into the next paradigm, what is amazing is there is a leader who has come forth and helped us to walk through each one of these doors. Whether it was Thomas Watson Jr., into Ken Olsen with DEC, and into Bill Gates taking control of our industry with Microsoft with a tight grasp and not letting go, and then starting to break out of it with desktop cloud computing, with Google, with Larry and Sergey. And then we saw this incredible work of Steve Jobs, the really great Steve Jobs, who delivered this mobile computing paradigm for us with iPhones and iPads and showed this incredible new way. And now we see a social revolution that's underway and led by Mark Zuckerberg. It's an amazing time in our industry. But what's unique about this time in our industry and what's special about this time in our industry is this. Never before have we seen something like this. Arab Spring. Since the last time I was here in the UK, this has happened. And the reason that this is unique is we never saw signs that said, "Thank you, Microsoft." We never saw signs that said, "Thank you, IBM." No. But we see signs that say, "Thank you, Facebook." Yeah, because it created transparency, it created trust, it created a voice, it created the ability to have a discussion that before was not possible. And this is a universal thing, right? You've all seen these signs, right? But this Arab Spring, it is not just about falling of Middle Eastern governments. It's much, much bigger than that. We're really on the beginning of something huge in regards to a corporate spring. We're going to see the fall of corporations. We're going to see a CEO spring. We're going to see, in the same way that we've seen Mubarak fall, we'll see CEOs fall who don't pay attention to their customers, don't pay attention to their employees, don't pay attention to their stakeholders, their investors. I'm going to talk about that. It's actually a fascinating subject. And here's what's driving it. This social revolution that's going around the world, this incredible social revolution that's amazing, it's really taking over. Let me just ask you, how many people in this room have a Facebook or a Twitter account? Can you just raise your hands? Oh, okay, that's all. Yeah, it's kind of amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's a phenomenal revolution, and we've never seen that kind of adoption and that level of success with an application ever. And now Facebook itself is really eating the web. Well, we see that Facebook itself is taking increasing amounts of time. I was watching football over this weekend, which is a sport we have in the United States. Not the football that you know, a different football. And I went to this college, university in the United States called USC. And at the end of we had this, we're playing, and so they put the commercial in for USC in the middle of the football game. And at the end of the commercial, basically, it has a website. Okay, come and visit us at www.usc.edu. And I had to go, what? What? They could have run that ad 10 years ago. What do I really want to do? What I really want to do is I want to go to facebook.com/USC. And I want to see all of my friends and all of my fraternity brothers and everybody I went to college with and join them on Facebook and talk about the football game and have a discussion. This social revolution is really pervasive in that way. Look at this. The web is shrinking. People, the average time spent 4 hours a day on Facebook. And it's not just about what we're doing on the internet. It's also how we're doing it. Look at that. 81 minutes a day on mobile devices. We're spending more time browsing the web on mobility than on these desktop computers. And we had Michael Dell here yesterday, and we were talking about this. The desktops are flat, notebooks are flat, but smartphones, tablets taking off. How many people here brought a smartphone with them today? Okay, that's all. Okay, how many people have an iPad? It wasn't even available a year ago. So this is amazing. And it's not just about consumers. It's about enterprises too. Look at this. Look at the number of CIOs, great CIOs like Jane Moran, who we're going to hear from, who's the global CIO of Thomson Reuters, is in the front row. saying, yeah, we want to support that inside our organization. That's amazing. That is amazing. And we also have we have another great CIO, the CIO of the FT in the front row, who just delivered an unbelievable app on the iPad, which is app.ft.com, if you haven't seen an amazing HTML5 application. Part of this transformation. It's amazing. But here's the thing. This social revolution is creating a social divide. There is a gap between customers and employees and, indeed, our companies. And it's stunning to me. But the gap is slowly, getting healed. The awareness is coming. I've been on this tour, and one of the stops that I made before coming here to London is to Boston. And I got on the plane, and I was on my way to Boston, and I had really excited. I'm going to Cloudforce Boston. We have this huge message. It's so exciting. And we get out there to Boston. I'm tweeting on the plane. I'm coming to Cloudforce Boston. I'm going to stay in this great hotel. I'm not going to give you the name of the hotel because I don't want to embarrass them. And I love the room. I'm going to get reservations, at this great hotel. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have this amazing dinner. I can't wait to get there. It's fantastic. Anyway, we arrive that night. It's about 8 o'clock. We walk into the hotel. I walk into the hotel lobby, and they go, "Oh, Mr. Benioff, fantastic. We're so glad you're here. We've been reading your tweets. We saw your Facebook entries. We got your room set up. We got you that restaurant reservation. Exactly that you wanted. We're ready." No, that did not happen. You know that did not happen. You know that did not happen. But it's changing. I'm actually staying in a really amazing new hotel here in London on this trip called the Corinthia. And this morning, I actually got up because I'm really jet-lagged, and I got up at 4 in the morning, and I went downstairs, and I worked out. I was, running to Metallica and on the elliptical trainer, and then I went for a swim, and then I got in the hot tub, and it's an incredible hotel. Anyway, I got onto Twitter, and I said, you can see this on my tweet stream, and I go, "Hey, Corinthia Hotels, great job in London. This hotel is fantastic. I'm getting over my jet lag. I am transcending the jet lag into gratitude." They tweet right back. Right on. Let us know how else we can help you. They tweeted right back. And they are having a conversation with me on Twitter. That is the healing. That is the unique opportunity for customer intimacy that we can have now that we could not have before. But are we all doing that, or do we have a social divide? Customers, employees are social, but what about our companies? It's the cover story in this week's Forbes magazine. The cover is Social Power and the Coming Corporate Revolution. Why employees and customers will be calling the shots. It's an amazing story. And if you haven't read this story by David Kirkpatrick, I encourage you to do that. Because what he talks about is this very concept. How do we leverage social power to energize our companies, to energize our employees? In 2008, we started to have this global recession. And the interesting thing about the global recession is some companies actually have come out of it. Some companies have been hiring. Some companies are growing. Some companies are more successful. And many employees are thriving through it. Many executives are thriving through it. But on the flip side, many are not. Many never got out of it. Many of them didn't understand what the changes were. They weren't in touch with the market. They weren't in touch with the new products or the new technologies. Amazing that there's this bifurcation. And I think it has a lot to do with this shift in social power. I was talking to a friend of mine about what was going on in the Middle East, and I said, it used to be when we talked about military operations, we were talking about soft power or hard power. But it's not soft power or hard power, it's social power. And here it is on the cover of Forbes. So how do we do this? I think I can make the case that we have to do it. And I've been making that case for a couple of years. We have to do it. We've been talking about the importance of going social. But the question is how. And that's what customers come to us all the time. What is the how? We understand that we have to. We understand the why. And the how is very interesting. Because the how is really 3 steps. We're going to talk about those 3 steps over the next 2 hours. The how is number 1, create a social customer profile. We're going to talk about what is a social customer profile, a new next generation database. A database where we're tracking those customer tweets, those customer Facebook entries, those customer handles. That we're going to learn more about our customers than just their name and address and phone number. We're going to know a lot about our customers. We're going to have a multidimensional view of our customers. And number two, we're going to take that data and we're going to empower our employees with that data. We're going to empower our employees with that data with an employee social network, through collaboration, through connecting and selling, through service engaging and automating and extending. We're going to talk about each one of these areas today. This is what the seminar is going to do. And then step 3, we're going to talk about customer social networks, how you're going to build social networks with your customers, and product social networks. How do you get your products on the social network so that your products become social? We had an incredible executive here yesterday, and it's on YouTube right now if you want to check it out. His name is Michael Dell. You all know him. For 30 years, he has been building all kinds of amazing technology. And he has recreated his company as a social enterprise, and he has recreated himself as a social leader. And he has created a company that operates faster and quicker, and if you've seen his last couple quarters of results, it's amazing. He has 125,000 employees on an employee social network. We know because we built it for him. He has built social portals for his partners. He has built something called the Idea Storm, where customers can innovate with him in real time, collaborate and share information, come up with product ideas. It's how he's rebuilding his product strategy. He has done a number of amazing things to create a social enterprise. And you know what? If you go to Michael Dell on Twitter, or if you go to facebook.com/Michael Dell, he is on there every day. He doesn't just delegate it off to some social media and marketing department. He's there. He's doing the work. He has become a social leader. He has created a social enterprise. It's amazing. He has a social media command center. It looks like a NOC, like a network operations center. He's monitoring every tweet and every Facebook entry in the history of his company. And the reason why is he had a really difficult situation about 3 years ago. A blogger named Jeff Jarvis, who's very popular in the United States, got on his blog, which is widely read, and said, "I have a huge customer service problem and I am now locked in Dell hell." Michael did not like that. He doesn't want to be, did not appeal to him. And he said, you know what, we're going to stay more in touch with our customers, we're going to transform their customer experience, and we're going to figure out how to give them a new experience, and we're going to unlock a new level of communication with that community. And that became the Dell social enterprise, and that inspired us. Now, it was easy for us to rapidly respond to that idea because, of course, we've been based on cloud computing, a faster way to innovate. No hardware, no software, fast to get going. Easy, automatic upgrades, pay as you go, open, logic and data portability, democratic. And we've been talking about cloud computing for a long time. But cloud computing is the basis of Facebook. It's the basis of Twitter. It's the basis of these very systems. Let me ask you, how many people in this room today work for companies with less than 1,000 employees? Raise your hand if you have less than 1,000 employees. How many people here have more than 1,000 employees? Raise your hand. Isn't that cool? It's really a democracy. All companies are represented. But if this was an Oracle seminar or an SAP seminar or a traditional enterprise software seminar, we would only be talking to the very largest customers with the very largest IT budgets. And even though we have some of those customers here, we can offer a solution, the same solution that Thomson Reuters uses for a startup. But this idea of cloud computing, this idea of fast and easy and open and for everybody, well, now everybody says they're cloud. And the thing that's amazing as I travel around the world, I'll go to a trade show, I'll go and I'll talk to customers, and I was just in Japan and I walked into an amazing trade show and had cloud computing, platform as a service, software as a service, come right in. So I walked in the booth, and they said, oh yeah, this is the cloud. Welcome to the cloud. I'm like, all right, right on. I'm like, where's the cloud? They're like, it's right here. I'm like, well, that's a rack of computers. I'm like, yeah, it's a cloud rack. And you can move it from your data center to another data center. It's the cloud. And I said, that is the false cloud. And beware of that false cloud, because that false cloud is not efficient. It is not democratic. It is not economical. And it's not environmental. It doesn't offer the kind of green footprints that you see in these next generation systems. And cloud computing inspired us, and it drove us, and it brought us forward. But the power of cloud computing, that power of cloud computing is going to another level. And as I've traveled around the world, and this has been my travel schedule in the last 6 months, and visiting with different customers and talking to them about these transformations that are going on in mobility and in social and in many other areas, I discovered something amazing. I discovered a new way for customers to delight their customers in a whole new way. That delighting customers is knowing who they are and what they like. That Corinthia hotels, they got me this morning. As the Japanese say, yarata, it means you got me in my soul. You know where I live. They figured it out. Now, unlike that hotel in Boston, they're communicating with me where I am. They know what I like. They are paying attention to me on the network. They have become a social enterprise. And we're going to talk about that. How do we do that?